I'm excited to be on this show today. This is another Friday Morning Matters. And what is Morning Matters? It's a movement where we talk a lot about financial discipline, financial planning, and everything that has to do with finances in order to be able to make, manage, and multiply our money. So we talk about empowerment, how we can get from where we were to where we want to be. And in Money Matters, we talk about savings, we talk about investments, investment vehicles that you can put your savings into. We talk about life insurance, we talk about health insurance, we talk about businesses you can do in the 21st century. And again, we talk about how do you get your business or whatever services you provide to those who need them. So those are the things we'll talk about. And so we get guests and men and women who are doing great wonders in their world, who have been in financial industry, who have been in real estate, who can tell us so much and we can glean and learn from them because, well, we meet with people and we pick their brains, we learn from them, we also get some great nuggets from them. And today I have a special guest for me. But before I bring her on board, let me introduce myself. My name is Sandra Oko. I'm a Master Leadership Certified Team Member, Coach, Speaker, and Trainer. I'm a member of the Toastmasters as the Vice President of Public Relations. Also, an IT sales expert of over 20 years. I've been selling and also a best-selling author, and just recently got gifted the Presidential Lifetime Award. I'm excited to have our guest today, who she's a financial guru. She's going to be taking us, how to, solve and understand financial complex concepts. So that's what she's going to be taking us in, and she's going to be breaking it down, having a better understanding. And I'm excited to bring her on board. The next person you get to see is Kelly herself. She'll be introducing herself, what she's been up to in the financial industry, and how she's impacting her world. So I'm excited to have you.
Hey.
Thank you so much for honoring the invitation.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate being here on this platform today. You want me to start just a little bit about myself?
We want to know you. I know you as a friend, but our audience, I'm seeing for the first time, they want to get to know you, what you're up to, what you're doing in your work.
Awesome. Okay. So hello, everyone. Hi, all of the viewers. So happy to be here. My name is Kylie Butler. I was born in the UK, but I live and was raised in the Bahamas. I live in Nassau, which is the capital right now. I went to school at the College of the Bahamas. It's called the University of the Bahamas now. And I studied a pure finance degree. I graduated in 2021. And then straight after that, I transitioned into the financial services industry. I currently work at one of the big four accounting firms in corporate finance, and I work in deal advisory. Apart from that, I have started a platform, and it's called Financially Lit. And it's basically an educational platform where I teach young people like myself and those that did not have the knowledge, just make better financial decisions within their lives so that they can live their best life financially. So that's just a little bit about me.
Awesome. And that's a great one you're doing, because I think the Gen Z are going to benefit from you because you are trying to empower them. What we were never taught in our universities, in our colleges, and right now you are already empowering them, so they have they are able to make better informed decisions because they are well tutored. That's a great one. I really do appreciate that. And I probably want to ask, what is LIT?
Okay, so LIT, it is an acronym, and the L stands for literacy, I stands for intentionality, and T stands for transformation. So the literacy part of it is basically the education, right? Being informed about financial concepts. And then the I, once you are intentional with that knowledge that you now have, you can now transform your financial life. So that's what, yes.
Literacy, intentional transformation. So once you have the knowledge, you can, pass it on. Intentionally, being disciplined, being intentional to ensure that this knowledge is passed on, and you're able to transform the people. And in summary, you're able to transform the world.
Yeah. So like we are consumed with so much information these days. But if you are not intentional and you are not strategic with the information that you use, it's useless. So that is why you have to be intentional with the finance information that you acquire. And once you're intentional, you can transform your life as well as those around you. So that's basically the concept behind it.
Yes, and that's in summary saying that, a lot of us get a lot of knowledge here and there, but we keep them to ourselves as a savoir. We don't pass it on. Like you were saying, that being intentional to ensure that it transforms you first before transforming your word.
Yes.
So some people can get knowledge and not use it for themselves, and at the same time, they're also using it for their word. So we are meant to be intentional with whatever information we get. Make sure your life is being transformed by it. It's just like me bringing people on the podcast, and my financial life is not being affected on the positive, meaning I'm just actually wasting my time bringing guests who have the wealth of knowledge, and I'm not gleaning from them. So beyond just gleaning, we also meant to use it to impact our lives and also impact our word. Otherwise, it would have been of no use gathering the information because it's not being used. It's not making any impact.
Absolutely correct. Yes.
So we are meant to be like a river. Get it and we'll flow to others.
Yes.
We teach it. And that's what I tell someone. I said, what you learn, the moment you teach it over and over again, you become good at it. And the compounding effect, you become outstanding. You become like an authority in that field. So like what you're doing right now, you've been through school, you've been taught about finances, and you are intentional about what all the knowledge you gathered, and you are passing it on. So over time, you're reading more, you're having self-development, you're getting good at what you do. And then you become an authority in that field. Oh, awesome. Awesome. Good.
Yes.
So when did you start this?
So
did you start it while you were still in school? Did you have the initiative? Because it looks like you got out of school 2021. So how did you and when did you start it?
Yeah, so I actually started it in 2022, but it was kind of slow because I was currently studying for my CFA level 1. So I put it down for a little bit, but I really started to accelerate this platform in 2022. And so now I'm like on social media, teaching people, and it's been great. Like social media, especially those in the Bahamas, like they don't really have access to the literacy at such a young age. Like young adults coming out of high school, going into college, into the real world, they don't get this knowledge until life starts to happen to them. So this is why basically I started the platform.
Awesome, that's a great word.
Yes.
It looks like I should move you from Bahamas and bring you to the United States.
I would love to.
How do I do that? I have to do that. Because, we'll talk after the scene. Let me just go through what we're doing right now.
Okay.
So you're ready to explain what the acronym does stand for. So what's upcoming for Financially LIT?
Okay.
What's upcoming? What are your plans for 2024? So that, we can get our people also tuning in to what you're doing over there.
Of course. Yes. Okay, so I'm so excited. So for the first quarter of this year, like for the next maybe 3 to 4 months, it's going to remain strictly an educational hub where people can ask me questions. I sit down just like I'm talking to you, and I educate to the public. And then into the second quarter, I will actually be offering services where I can work with people at a more intimate level, where I can really walk and hold your hand and walk you through these financial concepts that are difficult, that like budgeting, how to save, how to invest in the Bahamas. That's one of the biggest challenges that I've seen right now. So I also have like some financial products that I'm in the process of creating that's going to align with what I'm doing now. So I'm so excited. There's a lot for 2024. I don't want to give you everything right now, but just stay tuned. I'm so excited about it.
That's awesome, because I am presently undergoing some training on financial and getting my license in Maryland. So I should have that in February. I've been going through training and hands-on. I have my coach. I get my guests to come in whilst he's trying to pass on this financial education. I am learning. So I'm having hands-on, not just theory. So I'm also preparing for my licensing, which should be this month of. Because I found that that's what everyone needs. one of the reasons we're working, one of the reasons we're in a chosen career, one of the reasons we do what we do is because we want to better our life.
Yeah.
We want to be wealthy. We want to leave wealth for our children. We want to live a more comfortable life.
Yeah.
So you find that everybody needs it. It's a product and services that is needed by everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have challenges in budgeting. Some have or how to spend their money because what you don't care for does not come to you. But if you take care of your money and you have a good planning, you are accountable. Money will always come to you because I can ask you, okay, right from January 1st to this moment, how have you spent or how much have come into your pockets?
Yeah.
What have you done with this money? How have you channeled them to ensure that they're able to, grow? Because there are so many vehicles you can put your money into. A lot of people talk about 401k, some people talk about Roth, IRA, that's IRA,
Yeah.
and so many. And sometimes people need to understand what's the difference. So I'm going to be bringing coaches to talk about what's the difference because a lot of people say 401k is a scam because almost about 40%, 30 to 40% is being taken by the government. So you're taxed twice if you're not careful. But in the other one, when you talk about Roth IRA, it's a tax-free account, meaning as you're saving, so everything that you have in your portfolio, nobody shares it with you.
Yeah.
And so you can have that for your kids, education. You can have so many things you can plan, such that when it gets to the age when you're about to retire, you can still live and maintain that lifestyle, that standard, because you've already saved for your retirements.
Yes.
The same income you were receiving while you were working can be paid to you while you were retired. So that if you still have to pay your mortgage, if you still have to pay some other bills or some other debts, you're able to service those debts based on what you're being paid from the retirements.
Yes. Yeah.
So
yeah, I think it's really important, and I love what you're doing here, like bringing people to educate about, because when people hear about 401k, Roth IRA, they have no idea what that is. So to bring someone on to break that down, to explain in layman's terms, I think that's super important. So that's I love that.
Yeah, and because just recently, I think some weeks back, I actually brought someone to talk about why the need for insurance.
Yes.
So the first question the person asked me, your car and your children do what you call the car insurance. But when it comes to your kids and your children, what do?
Yes.
You don't insure them. And who tells you that in the next 24, 48 hours, in the next 20 years, 30, 40 years, you're going to be there for them?
Yeah.
So just the same way you care for your car, which is, of course, is a liability, your children are much more than that. So you should also have a planning, no matter how small. People will tell you, oh, the money I have right now is not enough. How do I not do insurance?
Yeah.
But I tell them, I said, no matter how small the insurance could be, you can start small and grow as your funding becomes better. You can start with $50, you can start with $20, $30, $40, depending on what your capacity is at that moment. And as your income increases, you can also increase your insurance level and coverage and gradually get to the level you want to be. You might want to be at 500, life insurance coverage. One of the reasons we do coverage is anything can happen. And you need to secure and protect your ability to make money.
Yes.
Because anything can happen. You can have an accident such that you cannot go back to work. But your obligations, bills will still keep coming.
Yes.
You're living in a house. You are doing a lot. Your kids are in school. How do you pay for those things when you're handicapped?
Yes.
But when you protect your ability to protect your income, the insurance company can pay you as long as you live.
Yes.
And they can also pay for your insurance. Let's say you have a mortgage. Let's say you have a car note that you have to pay. Let's say you have car insurance to do. They take responsibility.
Yeah.
So I tell everyone, yes, you might not have the money now.
Yeah.
But start where you are. Because insurance is where you now. Where do you want to be in 5, 10, 20 years from now? So how do I get there? What's my strategy?
Yeah.
So that's the reason I want you to go in, I think, before we call it a day. Explain some strategies, because I think the title of this was Strategies in Understanding Financial Concepts, Complex Financial Concept. Maybe you give us the strategies to understand how do we start from where we are and how do we get to where we want to be.
Yes.
so that, we can call it a day. I just try to, I want to make this as short as possible so that people can sit down,
Yeah.
listen to the nuggets and gather something and get something from it.
Okay, so the first thing I always do when I talk to my friends and my family about, starting where you are, you need to start with the mind. You need to understand, have this abundant mindset towards money. Like, listen, there's enough money out there for everyone, but we have to. I think we let our fear of branching out and trying to do things differently and finding ways to make more money. If you don't have enough money, it's all out there. So once we start with the mind, now everything else will flow. So the first thing I would recommend is to understand we live in this microwave society right now where people we no longer think long term. We no longer think long term. We want wealth. We want the $1 million. We want the $10 million in an instant. We have to understand there's this book. It's called Atomic Habits, right?
Oh, I have it. I just finished reading it. Awesome.
So this feeds into what I'm saying.
Oh my God.
Atomic Habits teaches you how tiny, small, remarkable results can lead to the big results that you would like. So we can talk about that with strategies. Start small. If you only have $10 a day, you can invest that in something.
These are all my write-ups from it. It's a book everyone should have. All my write-up. I have a soft copy and I have also the audio. If you need the audio, I can send it to you.
The audio. Okay. Yes. Perfect. Thank you so much. So with that being said, you already know about Atomic Habits. You know the power of compounding. You know the power of starting small, starting where you are. Yes, you can start with the end in mind. Yes, you know you want that $100,000. You know you want that $1 million, but you need to start small. Consistent, small steps will get you there. I always see the struggle. A lot of people ask me, they don't know how to invest. They think they need $10,000 to start. No, there are investments with as little as $50. If you keep putting $50 in an account which has compound interest in 10 to 20 years, that's almost $50,000. So people, I think the best thing that I would recommend when people are struggling with strategy is to break down big concepts into smaller bite sizes and be consistent, and over time you will see that the strategy works.
True.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that's like you've just broken it. You gave us invaluable insights and practical strategies on how, to break these complex financial concepts into smaller ones.
Also,
understanding where you want to be, starting where you are right now.
Yeah.
Knowing what you're able to put aside every month without it shaking you such that you don't have to go back there.
Yeah.
And understanding that, okay, once I have the strategy in place, I have to decide. And like when I understand, based on the training I'm going through, there are 3 types of funds that you should have. You should have the long term, you should have the short term, and you should have emergency funds. Emergency fund is, should anything happen the next 24 hours, where do you get funding from?
Yeah.
You want to go to your long term to pull money from.
Right.
So there are 3 set of goals. An emergency fund can be within the next 90 days. Anything can happen. You have your bills, something happened, your car had an accident, something, you need to fix something, your tire, you need to get a new tire, your battery of the car is down. Whether you get an emergency fund from, you don't want to start calling friends and say, oh, I need this amount of money to do this. But when you have a right planning in place, you're able to shield yourself. And then you have short-term goals. Goals of 2-3 years. Maybe you want to buy property, you want to get a brand new car, your child is getting out of college, he's going to be driving very soon, you want to get him a car. So that you can start helping them to be independent and start facing life. So those are the things you want to put strategies on. Having a short-term goal aside from the emergency fund. Then the long term is the one you spoke about. Knowing where you want to be. Knowing that in order for me to have $1 million in 20 to 30, 40 years to come, how much do I need to start putting aside to get the $1 million? Okay, in the case like, $1 million is a bit high on the eyesight. Can I start small? And gradually, as my funding, or I get a good job, I have my businesses are doing well, I can increase the funding, the money I'm putting aside. And so by so, you are able to get through it. And that's what she's just explained and broken down, that you can start where you are,
Very
be
hard.
consistent. And actually consistency is the key.
Yes.
If you're not consistent, you're going to get frustrated, you're going to get tired.
Yes.
But one good thing is once you have the bigger picture in mind and you can check every month to see how your money is growing, you are motivated to put more money aside.
Yes.
So I tell people, I said, once a month, once a quarter, you might want to check what you put aside. So, how am I doing? Am I doing well? Am I getting to where I want to be?
Yeah.
That also is a motivating factor. And you can use your life as a testimony to help others. Because there's a lot of people around us who need help.
Yeah.
And most times people are complaining the money is not even enough. I don't know how to budget. How do I get around it? Things are very expensive. You don't have to live in a rat race. Like I tell people, you're not living in a rat race.
Yes.
Your neighbor is not your competitor. Live within your means. If you can afford to eat 3 square meals in a day, eat what is comfortable, what you can afford. And don't use other people's lifestyle to be a yardstick to say, oh, things are not good for you. At that moment, that's your journey and that's your process. And once you are done, and sometimes we go through this because there is something God wants us to learn. In all of our challenges, in all of our difficult moments, there is always something to learn. And that's why I said, everyone you see today is a sum total of the decisions we've made 5, 10, 20 years ago. Even before we start making decisions our parents had made on our behalf. So as an adult, you already know that, okay, these are the decisions I've made in the next 5 years. And if you look at your decisions, they're not taking you where you want to be. You might want to go back to your drawing board and say, okay, how do I tweak this? How do I get to where I want to be? What do I need to do? Right.
Yes.
And so in so doing, you're able to impact yourself and also impact those around you.
I think you covered everything in addition to what I said, but there's one more important thing that I would like to add. I really want to I want to encourage people to educate themselves about financial concepts. We have so many free resources that are out there, and I think a lot of people are struggling because of ignorance and just it's the small. What is an asset? What is a budget? What is a fixed? What is a variable expense? These things are at your fingertips, and that is what helped me. I didn't come from a family that was educated on finances. I learned all of these things by being curious. So once you are curious, if you truly want to change your life, and if you truly want to have an emergency fund, want to be able to save for a down payment on a home, want to be able to have a dream vacation, you really want to be able to enjoy your funds and save for like the future and your goals. Start with educating yourself, and if you don't know, ask somebody. That's why I'm here. That's why you're here. So educate yourself. Importance, please educate yourself. That is the last thing that I would say on strategies.
Thank you so much. I want to thank our viewers. Thank you for being on this show. And also thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to be here. And it's a said that a leader is one who knows it and shares it with others. So we don't, gather knowledge and just keep it to ourselves.
Yeah.
We're meant to be a dispenser of knowledge. We're meant to be a river flowing onto others. So what we glean from others, we share with others. And in doing so, we get better at what we do. So I want to thank everyone being on this show. Please kindly like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that whenever we're online discussing things that are of great repute, you can always be notified that we're online. And please help us to share the link. Be a blessing, be your breast keeper by sharing the information you've gathered. I want to thank you, Katie, for taking our time to, sharing your knowledge with us. Thank you so much. I would always call you. I hope you're always ready. Since you're in the financial industry, it's going to be a good one, bringing you to tell us what is the new trend in the world, what's the new strategy, what are people doing differently that we can learn from. Thank you so much. I want to say thank you for this time, and thank you, our viewers. Do have a blessed and a good evening. Bye.
Are you thinking of how to publish your book on Amazon or how to get your published book to become an Amazon bestseller book? Dip Insight Books is the perfect in-between solution in transforming your ideas into a book. We can help you with all the complicated parts of publishing, such as process TO transformation. What we do: full manuscript evaluation, receive quality assurance edit, full copy edit and final proofread to remove spelling and grammar mistakes. Oversee your cover design. Create your interior layout. Publish and distribute your book. Lock down your marketing strategy. Ghostwriting, where there is no manuscript. Our goal is to help you publish your book promptly. Contact us today at 404-740-9091. Email us at info@dipinsightworld.com. To start the submission process, check us out at www.books.dipinsightworld.com and submit your details. You can visit our Facebook page at Dip Insight World.
If you've made it this far into this video, thank you for watching. And don't forget to subscribe so you can support your girl. Thank you.